Chapter 11. Damn it. That bastard must be a dog. He ran so fast. After Wang Hao chased him for a while, he couldn't even see Chun Bo's back. Lu Fei snapped out of her daze and frowned, scolding. How? Maybe Chun Bo was just joking with us. Ding. Rage points from Wang Hao. +10. Ding. Rage points from Wang Hao. +10. Ding. Rage points from Wang Hao. +10. After a round of rage point increases, the current total rage points had reached 365. He was one step closer to getting 1,000 points and winning the 1 billion cash prize. It felt so good. A joke my ass. If he dares to have any ideas about you, I'll break all 3 of his legs. Wang Hao roared furiously. Mommy, if that punk dares to harass you again, just tell me, and I'll show him what's what. Lu Fei's mind was buzzing at this moment. Even though Wang Hao was constantly swearing, she couldn't be bothered to care. She looked at the pile of goods worth over 700,000 yuan in her hand and didn't know what to do for a moment. If she wanted to return them for Chun Bo, the receipt had already been torn up by Chun Bo, making a return. Impossible. Did Chun Bo sincerely give her this bag? Did he really fall in love with her at first sight? Thinking of this, Lu Fei's cheeks instantly turned rosy. In the past, some customers would specifically buy bags at the store to give to her in order to pursue her. But they usually gave ordinary styles worth tens of thousands of yuan at most. And the motives of those male customers were very obvious. They just wanted to fool around with her. Lu Fei was polite to them on the surface, but deep down, she was disgusted by such men with impure motives. But for some reason, she didn't feel any disgust towards Chun Bo. In her heart, there seemed to be a hint of longing. Thinking of this, Lu Fei shook her head vigorously. Oh my! Lu Fei, what are you thinking? Although she was still relatively young compared to Chun Bo, she was already an old auntie. How could he really fall in love with her at first sight? Chun Bo must be joking. Yes, he was just joking. However, recalling Chun Bo's expression and demeanor when he tore up the receipt and gave her these items, it was simply too domineering, too much like the domineering CEO in her heart. She really liked it. Lu Fei, affection +10. Chun Bo, who had run out onto the street, was stunned when he received Lu Fei's affection points. He had thought that his abrupt behavior would affect his image in Lu Fei's mind and cause her affection to decrease. He didn't expect it to increase by 10 points. Currently, Lu Fei's affection for him had already reached 57 points, but there was still some distance to go before the epic prize. Everyone knows that the early parts of all games are very easy. To increase affection later, one has to enter hell mode. But Chun Bo was not worried. Under his continued fierce offensive, Lu Fei's surrender was only a matter of time. Sister Lu Fei, where did you pick up that rich second-generation boy toy? This person is not only powerful and generous, but also so domineering and romantic. If he were pursuing me, I would immediately say yes. When it comes to sharp eyes, it still has to be our sister Lu Fei. A 3 million yuan membership is bought just like that, and nearly 1 million yuan worth of gifts are given just like that. Why can't I meet such a generous and capable man? You can forget about it. If that rich second-generation boy had really come to pursue you just now, you probably wouldn't even have given him a proper look. You need to change that snobbish habit of yours. That's why the store manager often teaches us not to judge people by appearances. Some people dress up nicely, but they're just pretending to be rich with no money in their pockets or even deep in debt. They come to us just to play with our bodies. These people never even thought of spending a single cent on us. But some people dress plainly, yet are incredibly powerful, super-rich families who don't treat money like money. This society is just like that. The poor like to pretend to be rich, and the rich like to pretend to be poor. So, when we receive guests, we can just treat everyone equally. Sister Lu Fei, if you don't like that boy toy, why don't you introduce him to me? After it's done, I'll definitely give you a big gift. Lu Fei chuckled, looking in the direction Chun Bo had left, and didn't answer directly. They say that things that are snatched are the most desirable. Lu Fei felt that way at this moment. Lu Fei, affection +5. Lu Fei, affection +5. Chun Bo on the subway was once again dumbfounded. The after effect was too strong. He had just gained 10 affection points, and now it had increased by another 5 points consecutively. Lu Fei's affection had already reached 67 points. Did this affection level mean that Lu Fei somewhat approved of him in her heart? It seemed that pursuing older aunties wasn't too difficult after all. Lin Mengyao returned to her dorm with the bag and Apple phone Chun Bo had given to her sister, Lin Ruoshi. On the way, she recalled Chun Bo, who used to be obedient and responsive to her every whim. But the more she thought about it, the more resentful she became. How could Chun Bo treat her like this? She had been Chun Bo's girlfriend for 3 years, although her goal was to string Chun Bo along. But that didn't affect the fact that she was the person who understood Chun Bo best in this world. However, she didn't know that Chun Bo's true identity was a super-rich second-generation heir. Chun Bo, you hide things quite well. Lin Mengyao gritted her teeth in hatred. What angered her even more was that he actually publicly confessed to Wang Hao's mother, Lu Fei. Was Lu Fei the sweetheart Chun Bo fell in love with at first sight? This feeling was like her personal belongings, which she had used for many years, had been snatched away by someone else. She could dislike her personal belongings, she could kick them away, but if they were snatched away by another woman, she would be displeased. And in terms of looks, youth, and figure, in what way did she lose to Wang Hao's mother? That old woman could be Chun Bo's mother. Moreover, even her sister Lin Ruoshi, who had always been jealous and disliked Chun Bo, received a new Apple phone and a bag worth 50,000 yuan as gifts, while she, as his girlfriend, didn't even get a single thing. Thinking of this, Lin Mengyao felt even more unbalanced. Returning to her dorm, Lin Mengyao angrily tossed the gifts Chun Bo had given to her sister onto the table and sat down huffily. Her violent actions startled her roommate and best friend, Zhang Xiu. Mengyao, who provoked you again to make you so angry? Wow, he actually gave you the latest Apple 1X, and it's the most expensive 1 terabyte version. It must cost over 10,000 yuan. Wow, is this a genuine Hermes bag? This bag must also cost tens of thousands. Mengyao, who is so generous and lavish? Is it Wang Hao? As Lin Mengyao's best friend, she naturally knew Lin Mengyao's financial situation well. It was impossible for her to have the money to buy these products herself. There was only one truth. Someone else gave them to her. And the most likely person was Wang Hao, who had always pretended to be a rich second-generation heir. As for Chun Bo, he didn't have that capability. But Lin Mengyao's next sentence directly shattered her worldview. Not Wang Hao, it's Chun Bo. Chapter 12. As best friends, Lin Mengyao told Zhang Xiu everything that happened today without holding back. She even revealed that the Apple phone and bag on her desk were for her younger sister, and that Chun Bo had confessed his feelings to Wang Hao's mother. She did this hoping someone could give her some advice on the matter. After listening to Lin Mengyao's description, Zhang Xiu looked surprised. Are you saying that the loser delivery guy Chun Bo is actually a super-rich second-generation heir who can casually pull out millions? And he gave Wang Hao's mother gifts worth over 700,000 yuan. Zhang Xiu exclaimed in utter shock. Lin Mengyao nodded weakly. Xiu, what do you think I should do now? I just broke up with Chun Bo and explained how I played with him. All these years, I didn't expect him to turn around and checkmate me. I regret it so much now. If I had known earlier that Chun Bo was a hidden rich second-generation heir, I wouldn't have left him even if it killed me. From what you're saying, you want to get back with Chun Bo. What about Wang Hao? Even if Chun Bo is really a rich second-generation heir, Wang Hao's looks and family background aren't worse than Chun Bo's, right? Besides, you already gave your first time to Wang Hao and had 2 abortions for him. But today I met Wang Hao's mother. Although she has an elegant demeanor and a noble, dignified appearance, her true identity is nothing more than a luxury brand sales associate. Although Wang Hao explained that his mother couldn't stand being bored at home and went to work, saying it was her hobby, which wealthy madam would Go to a luxury store to be a sales associate? I think Wang Hao is just lying to me. He's not a rich second-generation heir at all. It's just that I haven't confirmed it yet, and I was so shocked by Chen Bo that I didn't expose him today. Zhang Xiu showed a look of shock and regret, but in her heart, she cursed, serves her right. This was the extent of their superficial friendship. She believed her conditions in all aspects were no worse than Lin Mengyao's. Now that she had discovered Chen Bo was a super high-quality stock, she also wanted to give it a try. In that instant, Zhang Xiu came up with a plan. Mengyao, you're usually so smart and quick-witted. Why can't you think straight this time? Think about the two people Chen Bo gave gifts to today. One is your younger sister and the other is Wang Hao's mother. Why would he give such expensive items to Wang Hao's mother and confess to her in public? You still believe in love stories like, the domineering CEO falls in love with me, a divorced woman with a child. That doesn't exist. How could Chen Bo really be interested in Wang Hao's mother? He did that simply to get revenge on Wang Hao and disgust him. After all, you two had been leeching off Chen Bo for 3 years, so he must harbor resentment. With Zhang Xiu's explanation, Lin Mengyao suddenly saw the light, her eyes shining, but soon, her gaze dimmed again. So, according to you, Chen Bo giving gifts to my sister was also to get revenge on me? My sister is exceptionally beautiful. Chen Bo wouldn't really fall in love with my sister, would he? You're wrong, Zhang Xiu said with certainty. Giving gifts to Wang Hao's mother and confessing to her was for revenge on Wang Hao, but giving gifts to your sister, the situation is exactly the opposite. If Chen Bo had fallen for your sister early on with his status and power as a super-rich second-generation heir, he would have made a move on her much sooner. The reason he didn't make a move was entirely because he only had you in his heart. Do you think these gifts were really for your sister? Wrong. He just used giving them to your sister as an excuse to give them to you. Think about it, didn't you at some point mention to Chen Bo that you really wanted this new model of Apple phone and a branded bag? Lin Mengyao nodded like a pecking chick. I mentioned it to him many times, but he was always reluctant to buy it for me. Exactly. Because you needed them, he would send the phone and bag. In his heart, he still cares about you. After Zhang Xiu said this, Lin Mengyao regained her confidence. Damn it, this blockhead Chen Bo. If he wants me, why can't he just say so? He has to go through so many twists and turns. But seeing as he sent me a phone and a bag, I'll forgive him this time. Hee. Watching Lin Mengyao regain her confidence, Zhang Xiu curled her lips into a sly smile. As long as Lin Mengyao and Chen Bo got back together, she would then expose to Chen Bo that Lin Mengyao had 2 abortions for Wang Hao. She would then be able to establish a persona of hating evil and standing up for justice in front of Chen Bo, and would surely quickly gain Chen Bo's favor. Lin Mengyao, just wait to become my stepping stone into a wealthy family. Hee. After classes ended the next day, Chen Bo went to the Hermes boutique in Taikoo Hui, Guangzhou, where sister Lu Fei worked. Chen Bo didn't know if the system that had fallen upon him would disappear, or when it would disappear. So he had to seize the time to quickly earn the 100 million cash prize. Today, Lu Fei was wearing a light blue simple shirt paired with a black A-line skirt, a professional suit. This uniform was clearly custom-made, its fitted design highlighting Lu Fei's curvaceous figure, exuding an elegant, intellectual, and mature charm. Although she had a light makeup on, one could still see her slightly tired complexion. That was natural. Last night, Lu Fei tossed and turned in bed, her mind filled with Chen Bo's confession to her during the day. Logically, at her age, even if a man confessed to her, she wouldn't feel too many emotions. But for Chen Bo, her heart seemed to have stirred. She kept wondering if Chen Bo was truly smitten with her at first sight. If Chen Bo really pursued her relentlessly, what should she do? This thought lingered in her mind all night, so much so that Lu Fei, who never stayed up late, finally fell into a daze at 4 in the morning. The The sales associate from yesterday recognized Chen Bo at a glance. Sister Lu Fei. Look, your little toy boy is here for you again. The sales associate's voice was not loud, even a bit deliberately suppressed. After all, in such high-end luxury stores, loud talking and sudden exclamations were strictly prohibited. However, there were no other customers in the store at this time, so even with a low voice, everyone else could hear clearly. The other sales associates all peered out to look at Chen Bo, especially those who hadn't seen Chen Bo yesterday, who were even more curious about him. Wow, is this young man Sister Lu Fei's little toy boy? Although his clothes aren't great, he's quite handsome. What do you mean his clothes aren't great? He's simply dressed. This young man is our platinum member. He recharged 3 million without batting an eye. He's clearly a super rich second-generation heir. Sister Lu Fei is so lucky. She discovered such an inconspicuous pearl and even managed to charm him. Look at that little toy boy's muscles. Even if he didn't have money, I'd want to have fun with him. I really envy Sister Lu Fei. Suddenly, all the sales associates gathered around, discussing like old ladies at the village entrance. Upon seeing Chen Bo, Lu Fei was first stunned. Then a blush spread across her face. Immediately after, she stepped forward and professionally smiled and bowed to Chen Bo. Welcome to the Hermes boutique. How may I help you? Chen Bo, we meet again. I want to have dinner with you. Would you do me the honor? Chen Bo said directly. Lu Fei frowned. I'm at work. I don't have time. If I spend 1 million in your store today, can I get a chance for you to leave work early? Chen Bo, even if your family owns a mine, you can't keep throwing money around like this. Also, please don't joke with me like that again. Lu Fei turned her face away, not daring to look directly into Chen Bo's eyes. This was the result of her careful consideration last night. If Chen Bo bothered her again, she had to resolutely reject all his requests and nip this budding flame in the cradle. Although Chen Bo's handsome appearance, youthful aura, and firm muscles indeed fascinated her greatly. Sister Lu Fei, I'm really not joking with you. I'm serious. And you look just as charming when you're angry. You know what you're doing right now? Lu Fei clutched her heaving chest, trying her best to control her emotions. Of course, I know. I am your good brother, Wang Hao's mother. How can you have such thoughts? So what? I don't mind. Sister Lu Fei, can't you just give me a chance? Chapter 13. Sister Lu Fei took a half-hour leave from the store manager and brought Chen Bo to a very private tea house nearby. She wanted to resolve the matter with Chen Bo as soon as possible, otherwise, it would inevitably affect her life and work. In Sister Lu Fei's mind, Chen Bo was just a young boy experiencing his first crush. She believed that as long as she clearly explained the pros and cons and responsibilities to him, Chen Bo would naturally retreat when faced with difficulties. Sister Lu Fei confirmed that no one was around and, without even brewing tea, she went straight to the point, saying, Chen Bo, I appreciate your feelings for me, but we really can't be together. I'm a full 18 years older than you, and I'm also Wang Hao's mother. How could I possibly be with you? I know you're at an age where you're full of vigor, and it's understandable to have such thoughts about an auntie. Auntie doesn't blame you. You might just want to find a woman you like to have some fun with, but Auntie can't do that. Auntie is too old for games now. You're so rich, young, and handsome. There are plenty of beautiful young girls in their late teens and early 20s. You really don't need to waste your time on an old auntie like me. Sister Lu Fei, I'm serious. I like you. Chen Bo, with a serious and affectionate expression, reached out and gently held Sister Lu Fei's hand. The moment his hand touched Sister Lu Fei's fair hands, she recoiled as if she had received an electric shock. At the same time, her face turned as red as a pig's liver. You stop messing around. If you keep being so handsy, I'll never talk to you again. Sister Lu Fei's tone was slightly shy, but there was no anger. Chen Bo was a little surprised that Sister Lu Fei's favorability towards him remained unchanged despite his abrupt and offensive action. It neither increased nor decreased. Understood from another perspective, Sister Lu Fei's favorability towards him not decreasing meant tacit approval. Sister Lu Fei's true feelings about Chun Bo's action were not rejection. Perhaps she didn't even know her true feelings, but the system's judgment couldn't be wrong. Because of this, Chun Bo became even bolder. Sister Lu Fei, stop calling yourself an old auntie. You're more beautiful and elegant than most girls. I just like that about you. Isn't there a saying, a young man doesn't know the charm of a mature woman, mistakenly treating a young girl as a treasure? Compared to an ignorant young girl, I prefer your mature charm and intellect. Besides, we are both unmarried. Age is even less of an issue. Why not give each other a chance to try? Sister Lu Fei was somewhat swayed by Chun Bo's words. How many times, in the quiet of the night, had she not felt empty, lonely, and cold? She also wanted a man to dote on her and love her every day when she woke up. But thinking that this man was Chun Bo, her heart simply couldn't overcome that hurdle. Why don't you understand, child? Sister Lu Fei frowned and said, even if age isn't an issue, you're Hao-Hao's brother. If we were together like this, how would we face Hao-Hao in the future? What would he think of us? Wang Hao is an adult. Could he really cut ties with you, Sister Lu Fei, just because you're pursuing your own happiness? And I believe that one day he will accept our relationship. Seeing Chun Bo's firm tone, Sister Lu Fei sighed helplessly. Two people being together isn't that simple. My current living expenses are already suffocating me. I still have over 2 million in mortgage and car loans, and I have to pay for Hao-Hao's schooling. In the future, I'll also have to prepare a wedding house and a bride price for him. If you get involved with me, you'll only fall into a bottomless pit. I don't want to drag you down. Ding, WeChat payment received. 5 million. Sister Lu Fei's phone chimed with a payment notification. This 5 million should be enough to resolve all your debts. If it's not enough, I can add more. She picked up her phone in astonishment to check. It was a real transfer of 5 million. At that moment, she was completely shocked, petrified, her head buzzing. This was 5 million. It was transferred to her so casually? Sister Lu Fei felt a little insecure. Having been a counter girl for so many years, she had seen all kinds of men, and many men had pursued her. But all these men wanted was to trick her into bed with minimal effort and grand promises. There were almost no people truly willing to spend large sums of money on her. Chun Bo's first move was 5 million. Could his feelings for her be true love? Chun Bo said nothing. He didn't want to waste any more words on matters that could be solved with money. What was the 1 trillion action fund the system gave him for? Wasn't it to use the power of money to make them dizzy? Originally, Chun Bo wanted to directly transfer 100 million. That would still only be 1/10,000th of his action fund. It felt like giving someone $1 when you have 10 million, no pressure, no feeling. However, Chun Bo was worried that being too extravagant would scare Sister Lu Fei away. You have to eat your food one bite at a time and conquer a woman step by step. After the 5 million transfer, Sister Lu Fei became completely numb. Chun Bo took the opportunity to gently hold her jade-like hands. This time, Sister Lu Fei didn't struggle or resist at all, allowing Chun Bo to caress her hands. Chun Bo looked deeply into Sister Lu Fei's peach blossom eyes across the tea table, saying, Fei Fei, from now on, I'll support you. Can you give us a chance? Faced with Chun Bo's heartfelt confession, Sister Lu Fei felt a tingling sensation inside, as if she had been electrocuted. What older single woman could resist a rich, handsome young man confessing to her? Although Sister Lu Fei was incredibly moved, she still maintained her last shred of rationality. I also want to give us a chance, but how long will your affection for me last? A year, 10 years? Can you promise that I'll be your only woman in the future? No. Chun Bo answered without hesitation, but very sincerely, I can't promise that you'll be my only woman in the future, but I can promise to always treat you well and ensure you never have to worry about money again in this life. In Chun Bo's mind, Pursuing Sister Lu Fei was just to complete the system's task and earn some rage points. From Wang Hao, although Sister Lu Fei's appearance and figure were nearly perfect, and Chen Bo liked her very much, but how could he possibly abandon the entire system's mission for one woman? Had Lin Mengyao's lesson not been enough for him? Chen Bo didn't want to deceive Sister Lu Fei, so he could only answer truthfully. If Sister Lu Fei didn't agree, Chen Bo would have to give up. There was also Lin Mengyao's sister, Lin Ruoshi, who could provide him with rage points, and he believed she would be much easier to handle than Sister Lu Fei, an older single mother with a child. Hearing Chen Bo's reply, Sister Lu Fei's body visibly trembled. Then she let out a chuckle. "You're quite honest." She thought to herself that trying it with Chen Bo wasn't impossible. Even if Chen Bo eventually abandoned her, she would at least gain financial freedom. Moreover, Chen Bo was young and handsome, so he would definitely be better than other men in terms of solving physiological needs. It wasn't just men who liked young girls in their 20s. Women also liked young boys in their 20s. So, no matter how she calculated it, Sister Lu Fei believed she wouldn't lose out. Sister Lu Fei, favorability +10.
Chen Bo inwardly exclaimed, "Holy crap!"
Sister Lu Fei's favorability had already reached 77 points. This actually worked. He had already prepared for rejection. Theoretically, shouldn't a woman be desperate upon hearing that answer? How did her favorability increase instead? Was it the ultimate move of sincerity or the destructive power of money? Before Chen Bo could recover from his surprise at Sister Lu Fei's increased favorability, she pursed her lips and said, "Trying it with you isn't out of the question, but you have to promise me that you absolutely won't mess around. Without my consent, otherwise I'll get angry." Hiss.
Chen Bo gasped.
She agreed just like that. This was the first time Chen Bo felt the magic of money. It turned out that pursuing a woman was so simple for someone with the power of money. Chen Bo's worldview seemed to have opened a new door. What Chen Bo lacked least now was money. He could make them dizzy with money in minutes. Not messing around? That's impossible. Chen Bo tightly held Sister Lu Fei's hand and took out his cracked Redmi phone to snap a photo of their intertwined hands. At such an important moment, how could he miss the opportunity to earn rage points from Wang Hao? His action piqued Sister Lu Fei's curiosity. "Why are you taking a picture? This is a memorable day. So of course, I have to post it on my moments to celebrate." "Ah?" Sister Lu Fei looked doubtful. "If you post it on your moments, what if Hao finds out? I'm not mentally prepared yet. It's just a picture of us holding hands, and our faces aren't showing. Hao probably won't know, right? Even if he does find out, you can always deny it. Besides, what's between us will eventually be known to him. He'll need a process to accept it. If he notices, consider it giving him some psychological preparation in advance." Sister Lu Fei nodded gently. Chen Bo's words weren't without reason. Letting her son slowly digest it was better than suddenly shocking him. She just wondered what her son's reaction would be when he found out. Chapter 14. Chen Bo picked a photo with a good angle and quality, set the permission so only Wang Hao and Lu Fei could see it, and then posted it on his moments. He captioned it, "Holding hands with a goddess. This is a day worth remembering." Lu Fei stared at Chen Bo's broken Redmi phone and asked, puzzled, "Does that phone have some special meaning to you? I've seen you using it all this time. Are you reluctant to replace it?" She thought the phone was a gift from Chen Bo's ex-girlfriend, holding special significance, which was why Chen Bo was so unwilling to replace it. Lu Fei hadn't expected their relationship to become like this after knowing each other for less than a day. If it really was a gift from Chen Bo's ex-girlfriend, she felt a little uneasy. So, she gathered her courage and asked the question that was on her mind. Unexpectedly, Chen Bo replied indifferently, "I've wanted to replace this junk phone for a long time. I just didn't have the money." Chen Bo spoke the truth. He really had no money. Lu Fei covered her mouth and laughed. A generous man who could casually transfer 10 million to her couldn't afford a small phone. Who would believe that? You can't afford a phone? Fine, if you don't want to talk about it. Lu Fei rolled her eyes at Chun Bo. Lu Fei. Favorability -5. Holy crap. Chun Bo looked wronged. My favorability can drop even when I'm telling the truth? According to the plot, shouldn't Lu Fei be buying him a new outfit and a new phone? It seems when dealing with women, it's best not to be too honest. They only want to hear what they want to hear. Soon, Chun Bo received feedback from Wang Hao. Ding. Rage points from Wang Hao. Plus 110 points. Rage critical hit occurred. Current total rage points. 475. Rage critical hit occurred. Rewarding strength attribute +1. Host's current physical attributes. Strength, 6. Speed, 8. Endurance, 6. Normal human peak is 10 points. Sure enough, Wang Hao recognized at a glance from the photo on Chun Bo's moments that the hand Chun Bo was holding belonged to his mommy, Lu Fei. And it even triggered a rage critical hit, earning him 110 rage points in one go. Chun Bo secretly gloated. Son, you really didn't disappoint your old man. Ha ha ha. If he and Lu Fei had a real relationship, how many rage points would Wang Hao generate if he found out? Thinking of this, Chun Bo glanced at Lu Fei twice, and his body began to stir. Lu Fei could still discern the desire in a man's eyes. Chun Bo's gaze made her heart race. Xiao Bo, what are you thinking? I'm not ready for that yet. Chun Bo took Lu Fei's hand and gently kissed it. Fei, you're so beautiful. Lu Fei's face turned crimson from Chun Bo's actions. Chun Bo simply walked around the coffee table and sat next to Lu Fei. Lu Fei didn't resist. The atmosphere had been built up to this point, so a kiss shouldn't be too much of a problem, right? Just as Chun Bo puckered his lips and Lu Fei didn't know how to react, Lu Fei's phone rang. It's Hao. Lu Fei answered the phone quickly, as if she had been saved. Immediately, Wang Hao's roar came from the other end. Mommy, where are you right now? Is that bastard Chun Bo harassing you again? Lu Fei awkwardly glanced at Chun Bo, then lowered her voice and said, How, what are you talking about? Xiao. Bo isn't that kind of person and I'm at work right now. He's not harassing me. Wang Hao on the other end trembled. He was Lu Fei's biological son, the person in this world who understood Lu Fei the most. He could tell from Lu Fei's tone alone that she was lying. Why she was lying was obvious. She was definitely with Chun Bo right now. More importantly, Lu Fei was not only with Chun Bo but also defending him and holding his hand. For Wang Hao, who had an Oedipus complex, this was like a bolt from the blue. At this moment, he just wanted to scream to the sky, no. At the same time, background music seemed to play around him. Snowflakes drifting, north wind whistling. Ding. Rage points from Wang Hao. Plus 120 points. Rage critical hit occurred. Current total rage points. 595. Rage critical hit occurred. Rewarding speed attribute +1. Host's current physical attributes. Strength, 5. Speed, 9. Endurance, 6. Normal human peak is 10 points. Wahahaha. Another rage critical hit. This is just too damn awesome. Chun Bo couldn't help but give a big thumbs up, giving Wang Hao a huge compliment. And this time it increased speed. This is good. If Wang Hao wants to beat him, he'll have to catch him first. Haha. Only 400 more points. Then he could do the 1 billion cash lottery draw. Mommy, quickly tell me where you are right now. I'll come save you immediately. What are you talking about? Chun Bo really didn't do anything to me. I really am at work. All right, I'm coming to your store now. If Chun Bo dares to harass you again, slap him hard. MHM. Got it. Lu Fei glanced at Chun Bo sitting beside her and quickly hung up the phone. Hao is coming to find me. Why don't you go back first? I'm afraid he'll get too emotional if he sees you, and I'd be heartbroken if either of you got hurt. Then let's not let him find us. Let's go on a date. Ah? I only took half an hour off. I still have to go back to work later. In just half an hour of leave, she had gotten a boyfriend 18 years younger than her. This was truly ridiculous. Lu Fei still hadn't fully processed it yet. That crappy job of yours isn't worth keeping. I'll support you from now on. Chun Bo's words really struck a chord with Lu Fei. After failing to get promoted to management several times, she had long wanted to quit. Across the entire country, she was the only 39-year-old still working as a counter lady in a store. At the store, she not only received the same looks from younger counter ladies but also faced the constant psychological pressure of being advised to resign. If she had any other options, she would have quit long ago. Unfortunately, mortgage, car loans, and various living expenses didn't allow her to do so. But she couldn't 100% believe Chun Bo's words yet. Although Chun Bo had already transferred 10 million to her, to support her and ensure she lived a life of ease, it was still a bit short. A man's words are a ghost's deception. Who knows if you'll just dump me once we're in the room, Lu Fei said, feigning anger. Although Chun Bo was still inexperienced, he could understand the meaning behind Lu Fei's words. She wanted tangible benefits before taking further steps with him. Wasn't this exactly what he was best at? A trillion action fund. He wasn't joking around. He wasn't afraid of her not wanting money, only afraid of her not daring to ask for it. Let's go. I'll prove it to you right now. I'll take care of you for the rest of your life, Chun Bo said, generously. Where to? Buy a car, buy a house, and take you to the pinnacle of life. As Chun Bo sat in the passenger seat of Lu Fei's red Tesla, Wang Hao's call came through to Chun Bo's phone. Chun Bo, you bastard. Where did you take my mommy? Wang Hao's almost roaring voice came from the other end of the phone. Chun Bo deliberately put the phone in front of Lu Fei, who was driving, and laughed. Fei, it's Wang Hao. He's asking where we are right now. Lu Fei playfully glared at Chun Bo, then lowered her voice and scolded. Why did you give me the phone? Doesn't this just confirm that I'm with you right now? Oh, right. Chun Bo pretended to understand. Wang Hao, I don't know where your mommy is. Don't ask me anymore. After saying that, Chun Bo decisively hung up the phone. Wang Hao on the other end was wide-eyed with uncontrollable fury. Damn you? Chun Bo, do you really take me for a fool? How dare you lay a hand on my mommy? I'll kill you. Ding. Rage points from Wang Hao. Plus 50, enraged. Current total rage points. 645 points. He was one step closer to winning the 1 billion cash prize. Awesome. This is just too damn awesome. This happiness system truly lived up to its name. It was just a shame there was no critical hit this time. Chapter 15. Originally, Chun Bo was going to take Lu Fei to a Porsche 4S store to buy a sports car. But Lu Fei didn't like. She said she preferred larger, more comfortable SUV models. The first thing Chun Bo thought of was a domestic electric car, the 80M9. This car was not only comfortable, grand, and luxurious, but also extremely comfortable. It was Chun Bo's dream car. However, its price was really too cheap. Even the highest trim was only over 500,000 yuan, which felt a bit underwhelming. Moreover, people Lu Fei's age had a greater recognition for Mercedes Maybach. So, Chun Bo led Lu Fei by the hand to the Mercedes 4S store. Lu Fei was a little embarrassed, but Chun Bo didn't mind other people's gazes at all. Older woman-younger man relationships were no longer a new thing in this era, and Lu Fei's hands were exceptionally soft and smooth. Chun Bo couldn't stop holding them. As soon as they entered, two handsome men and beautiful women salespeople, dressed in work suits and meticulously groomed, bowed and smiled at them. There was an unwritten rule in Mercedes 4S stores. If the customer entering was a male, a female salesperson would be responsible for following up. If the customer entering was a female, a male salesperson would be responsible for following up. However, since most customers who bought this brand of car were male, the number of female salespeople in the 4S store far exceeded that of male salespeople. When Chun Bo and Lu Fei entered the 4S store, it was obvious that all eyes were on Lu Fei. Although Lu Fei had a noble appearance and superior temperament, she was wearing a Hermes work uniform when she came out. As for Chun Bo, his clothes were clean, but they were all no-name brand t-shirts and pants made of polyester fiber. It was clear at a glance that he wasn't someone who could afford to spend money there. This order should have been handled by the male salesperson who was at the entrance, but that male salesperson clearly disdained these two newly arrived customers. Rather than wasting time serving them, it was better to stand a bit longer and wait for the next batch of capable customers. So he winked at the female salesperson opposite him, meaning, "These customers are yours." This female salesperson's smile was quite shy. It was clear at a glance that she was a new employee. Her senior, who was responsible for training her, winked at her, so of course, she had to take on Chen Bo and Lu Fei without hesitation. And even if Chen Bo and Lu Fei didn't end up buying, she could practice on them and improve her sales skills. "Good afternoon, Madam Sir. I am Jiang Qian, a sales consultant at the Mercedes 4S store. Do you have an appointment?" This female salesperson's smile was very standard and bright, and her features were delicate. Her figure, outlined by her work uniform, was curvaceous and made people want to get to know her better at first glance. "Can't we look without an appointment?" "No, it's just that if you have an appointment, I would notify your appointed sales consultant. If you don't have an appointment, then I will provide you with service." This was also Chun Bo's first time entering a Mercedes 4S store. He had thought that one needed an appointment to view cars. It wasn't until later that Chun Bo learned that asking about appointments was to find out if customers had registered information on the website before coming. If they had registered, a commission would have to be given to the online platform. And the reception process would also be different. They would be more proactive with customers who hadn't registered online. "It doesn't matter. Then you can help us?" Chun Bo asked. "Which is the most expensive SUV in your store right now?" Actually, Chun Bo was happier and more at ease being served by a beautiful woman. The most expensive SUV currently should be the Maybach GLS 600. Jiang Qian replied politely. "All right, let's take a look then." Humph, humph, humph. The male salesperson who had just given up on serving Chen Bo and Lu Fei and returned to the front desk heard the conversation between Chun Bo and the female salesperson and couldn't help but cover his mouth and laugh. It wasn't until Chun Bo followed the female salesperson away that he burst out laughing. "Haha, I'm dying of laughter. Seriously, there are all sorts of people these days. As soon as they walk in, they want to see the Maybach GLS 600. That car costs at least 3 million yuan on the road. Don't they have any idea of their own financial standing? It's just a waste of time. Luckily, I'm smart. I immediately pushed them to Jiang Qian for practice. That guy is clearly a gigolo being kept by a rich woman, clinging to her to buy him a car. He's something else, wanting to buy the most expensive Maybach model as soon as he walks in. Does he really think rich women are all stupid and brainless? Based on my experience in judging people, if they can afford this Maybach GLS 600, I'll perform a handstand and eat *T right here for you all. But that rich woman he's with is really beautiful. If she were keeping me, I'd be willing to. That kid is really lucky to be kept by such a beautiful rich woman." In contrast to the male salesperson's sarcasm, Jiang Qian maintained an enthusiastic smile throughout. She always remembered what the manager told her on her first day of work. In the luxury car industry, the most taboo thing was to judge people by their appearance. Anyone who entered the 4S store was a potential customer. As long as she worked hard and treated everyone equally, she would definitely encounter capable clients. Moreover, Jiang Qian had been employed for nearly a month and hadn't sold a single car yet. Don't let their appearance as luxury car salespeople fool you. On the surface, they seemed glamorous, but their basic salary was pitifully low. Without commission, their basic salary of 2,500 yuan wouldn't even cover their living expenses. So, during the process of serving Chen Bo and Lu Fei, Jiang Qian was particularly dedicated and diligent. In the past, Chun Bo would have considered someone who could drive a Mercedes E300L to be a successful person. Maybach-level cars were something he wouldn't even dare to dream of. But today, Mercedes E-Class and even S-Class cars no longer caught his eye. If he was going to get one, it had to be a Maybach. Passing the regular display area, the three of them arrived at the luxury car exhibition zone. The spacious and luxurious showroom displayed a full range of Maybach sedans and SUV models. As a car enthusiast, Chun Bo's gaze was immediately drawn to the Maybach GLS 600, with its rugged and imposing exterior. A man should drive a car like this. Moreover, the space in this car was large enough so later, when emotions ran high with Lu Fei, the space wouldn't be too cramped when they were doing things. This was a condition that sports cars couldn't provide. Considering all aspects, Chun Bo was extremely satisfied. Chun Bo pointed to the GLS 600. That's the one. Fei, do you like it? If you do, I'll give it to you. Ah? This? Shouldn't we learn more about it first? Lu Fei was already starting to get used to Chun Bo's domineering generosity. She knew that if she said she liked it, Chun Bo would really go for it. Jiang Qian was completely bewildered. She had never seen such customers. I haven't even started introducing it yet, and you've already decided. How can I possibly continue? Sir, this is the Maybach's top-of-the-line model, the GLS 600. It is equipped with a 4.0 TV8 engine, supplemented by a 48V mild hybrid system, with a maximum power of 558 horsepower and peak torque of 730 Nm. While Jiang Qian was diligently introducing the car, Chun Bo opened the driver's seat and got in. The classic black and white two-tone interior created a simple yet elegant atmosphere. The full sense of technology, enhanced by the ambient lighting, appeared very imposing. He had to admit, sitting in the driver's seat of this car, Chun Bo felt a surge of inexplicable confidence. Immediately, Chun Bo then led Lu Fei to the back seat. The rear space of this car was truly spacious. The title of boss seat was no exaggeration. The only drawback was that the central armrest box couldn't be folded up, splitting the two seats, which made things a bit inconvenient when they were doing things. Fei, look, this seat can recline to 135 degrees, so you can lie down completely. And the space in this car is so generous that even if you sit on my lap, you won't hit your head. Lu Fei playfully pinched Chun Bo's arm. You're annoying. Chapter 16. The Maybach GLS 600 Ritual Edition has a starting price of $2.48 million, and the 4MATIC Night Edition has a starting price of $2.78 million. If you two are serious about buying, I can apply for a certain discount from the company. Jiang Qian's gaze was fixed on Chun Bo and Lu Fei, who were deeply engrossed in each other inside the car, as she meticulously introduced the price of the Maybach GLS 600. Lu Fei no longer seemed to mind the attention of others, her bright peach blossom eyes fixed on Chun Bo. Won't this car be too big, too extravagant for me to drive? How is this big? It can't even fit a bed. Stop joking, I'm serious. I'm afraid my driving skills aren't good, and I'll scratch it when I'm backing up. It's just a car. If it gets scratched, it gets scratched. If you don't want to drive it, I can hire a driver for you. My dear, you're so good to me. Lu Fei gazed at Chun Bo with affectionate eyes. If Jiang Qian hadn't been watching, Lu Fei probably wouldn't have been able to resist kissing him. Listening to the conversation between Chun Bo and Lu Fei, Jiang Qian felt her worldview shatter instantly. Just a moment ago, she had thought that this elegant and noble-looking lady was the sugar mommy, and Chun Bo was just a little puppy trying to please her. But from their conversation, she could tell that this little puppy was actually the real sugar daddy. And this sugar daddy was going to give this luxury car, which cost over $3 million once on the road, to a woman who was clearly a generation older than him. Oh my goodness! Isn't this a real-life version of a domineering CEO falling in love with an older single woman? This woman just looked pretty and had good temperament. There was nothing particularly special about her. In terms of overall capabilities, Jiang Qian thought Lu Fei wasn't even as good as her. Although Jiang Qian felt a little sour inside, her most important task right now was to sell this car. Otherwise, she would really be eating the northwest wind next month. Madam, this car is equipped with an L2 autonomous driving system and has an automatic parking function, so you don't need to worry about reversing at all. Jiang Qian continued to promote the luxury car. That's pretty good, beautiful. How soon can I pick up the car? Chen Bo stepped out of the car very satisfied with it. Sir, generally, after we confirm the order, you can get the car in about 2 months. If you're in a hurry, you can pay a little extra, and we'll prioritize arranging it for you. You can get the car in as fast as 1 week. This was a common tactic for 4S stores to charge extra, leveraging customers' eagerness to experience a new car. Chen Bo scoffed at this practice of the 4S store. In this day and age, the gasoline car market was already being impacted by the electric car market retreating steadily, yet these 4S stores still dared to act superior and use such methods to fleece consumers. In the past, Chen Bo would have just walked away, not even bothering with them. However, at this moment, a few million was like a few cents in Chen Bo's eyes. There was really no need to quibble with them. For Chen Bo, buying early and enjoying early was the way to go. How much extra do I need to pay to pick up the car early? 200,000. Guaranteed you can pick up the car next week. Holy cow. These bastards are really shady. They dared to add 200,000 for early pickup. That price is enough to buy a brand new Toyota Avalon. So it's not without reason that BBA is gradually declining in the luxury car market. Consumers have suffered from their unfair terms for too long. Chen Bo really wanted to just go to the next door and pick up a certain M9. It's just a pity that a certain brand really sells too cheaply. If they could release a luxury SUV priced at 3 million, Chen Bo would decisively support domestic production. You guys are really shady. Chen Bo couldn't help but complain. Jiang Qian didn't mind. They had seen this situation many times. Complaining is one thing, but if the customer is willing to pay the money, their commission would be higher. In this era that laughs at poverty but not at prostitution, everyone is just trying to make money. Suddenly, Jiang Qian had a flash of inspiration. Sir, we do have a 4MATIC Night Edition in stock at our dealership. It doesn't require an extra charge and comes with a good discount. Are you interested? Hearing that there was a car in stock, Chen Bo's spirits lifted again. Following the principle of buy early, enjoy early, what he wanted was a car in stock. Is there something wrong with this car? Jiang Qian quickly moved to the side of the in-stock car for sale. Absolutely no problem. It's 100% new. This was reserved by a previous customer, but after the car arrived at the dealership, that customer had financial issues and defaulted, so it's been sitting here for resale. It's just that when he reserved it, he added a lot of optional features, so the final price will be slightly higher. How much higher is slightly higher? That customer added first-layer calfskin dashboard wrapping, a waterfall-style grille, a Maybach Shield 23-inch, Maybach multi-spoke forged wheels, a Burmester high-end 3D surround sound system, and so on, including purchase tax, insurance, and other fees. This car's on-the-road price is 3.58 million. Jiang Qian paused, glancing at Chen Bo's expression. Noticing that Chen Bo's expression remained unfazed, she continued, if you buy that car, I can apply for a bit more discount from the company. I estimate it can be yours for 3.5 million. If you opt for installment payments, the price can drop a little more. Actually, the company's quoted price was that this car could be sold for 3.2 million. After all, they had already collected hundreds of thousands in liquidated damages from the previous customer. Selling this car for 3.2 million would still be a huge profit for them. Jiang Qian quoted 3.5 million, leaving some room for negotiation. This was also their standard practice. Once a customer negotiates, they would act very difficult, then bravely go to the manager's office to apply for a bigger discount for you. Then, without even thinking, one would know that after the sales manager's tireless efforts, they finally secured the ideal price for the customer. The final result was a win-win situation where the customer could buy the car at their desired price. The sales manager could get a commission, and the 4S store completed its task, making everyone happy. Feifei, what do you think? If it's cash, I'll pay now. Looking at the brand new Maybach GLS 600, Lu Fei's eyes seemed to sparkle. Her trembling heart wasn't entirely due to the new car, but because she believed Chun Bo truly cared for her. He not only transferred 5 million to her to clear all her debts, but also bought her a luxury car worth 3.5 million. At this moment, Lu Fei looked up at Chun Bo, as if he were the prince she had waited for years, arriving on a seven-colored cloud to greet her. Her eyes filled with adoration. At the same time, she was also very conflicted. If Chun Bo wanted her tonight, could she still refuse? Lu Fei, affection plus 10. Seeing Lu Fei's affection for him increase by 10 points, Chun Bo flashed a sly smile. That 3 million plus was truly well spent. Currently, Lu Fei's affection for him had reached 82 points, a very intimate state. This is the charm of money. A woman he had only known for a day had already entered an intimate state with him. Conquering her was just around the corner. For this, Chun Bo swiped his card generously and paid, without even haggling. Miss Jiang, my girlfriend really likes this car. I'll take it for 3.58 million. Chapter 17. No, sir, 3.58 million is just my quote. I can help you get a discount. Jiang Qian was a bit flustered by Chun Bo. She hadn't explained the price clearly to Chun Bo. Just 3.58 million. I can't be bothered haggling over 100,000 here or there. Just give me whatever freebies you can. Then, sir, do you need to arrange installments? If it's installments, the car price can be reduced a little more. Buying a little trinket worth over 3 million, and I need to do installments? Who are you looking down on? Jiang Qian was speechless. This luxury car, worth over 3 million, was just a little trinket in this man's eyes. At this moment, her heart was filled with nothing but shock, and her understanding of the world's outlook and values was once again refreshed. Less than half an hour after Chun Bo and Lu Fei entered the 4S store, a luxury car worth 3.5 million was sold. Although she hadn't successfully closed a deal yet, she watched her colleagues close deals every day. Who buys a car without comparing prices, looking at all the flagship models from BBA, and then taking test drives? Again and again, after finally deciding on the desired model, they would then haggle over the price repeatedly, striving for the lowest possible price, terrified of paying even a tiny bit more. Even if the other party was a billionaire, their money didn't grow on trees. Every little bit saved was a bit earned. In the words of a certain big shot, saving $1 million is always much easier than earning $1 million. So, everyone hopes their money can be spent wisely. A customer as generous as Chun Bo was unheard of and unseen by her. He was so rich that it made Jiang Qian doubt her life. At this moment, Jiang Qian actually started to envy Lu Fei. If she were a little bolder, a little more diligent, perhaps she could also stand beside this domineering CEO. Like Lu Fei. When she first started working, Jiang Qian often heard about female salespeople getting involved with clients. She scoffed at such behavior from other salespeople. Although Jiang Qian was poor, she had integrity. Even if she wanted to succeed, she would never get involved in ambiguous relationships with clients. But at this moment, her mindset had begun to change. If this person were Chun Bo, she might consider it. If Lu Fei hadn't been watching so closely, she would have really wanted to try. Once such a thought takes root, one's former integrity will be eroded bit by bit. Today, she might think that as long as the person is a super-rich individual like Chun Bo, she can accept it. Tomorrow, she will repeatedly lower her requirements and standards. Perhaps one day, an old man with a big belly will come along, and she will also find it not so difficult to accept. Eventually, she would become a slave to money. Of course, Chun Bo had no idea at this moment how much impact his actions had on Jiang Qian. Seeing Jiang Qian spacing out, Chun Bo waved at her. Miss Jiang, please swipe the card. Okay, sir. Jiang Qian said after snapping back to reality. Sir, do you have your ID card? Fei, where's your ID card? Lu Fei, who was holding Chun Bo's arm, was stunned. Darling, you want to register this car in my name? Of course. I said this car is for you, so of course, it should be registered in your name. If it were registered in my name, I probably wouldn't be able to use the action fund, so what's the point of buying it? Now Lu Fei held Chen Bo's arm even tighter, as if afraid someone would snatch him away. She had thought Chen Bo bought this car merely for her to use, but she never expected it would even be registered in her name. This way, this luxury car worth 3.5 million yuan would completely belong to her personally. True love. Chen Bo definitely had true love for her. Darling, you're so good to me. At this moment, Lu Fei leaned against Chen Bo like a young girl. If they weren't in public, Lu Fei would have really wanted to give him a fierce kiss. Lu Fei, affection +5. Not bad, not bad. With this one action, Lu Fei's affection had already reached 87. 87 points of affection. That should be considered being in love, right? Does that mean I can do whatever I want with Lu Fei? Chen Bo decided to be bold and try it. Fei, I'm so good to you. Can you grant me one request? How could Lu Fei not understand a man's little thoughts? And how could she not want to use this method to firmly keep Chen Bo by her side? She wanted to give herself to Chen Bo, but she was also worried that once he tasted the meat and got tired of it, he would leave her. At this moment, Lu Fei's heart was very conflicted, but the factors causing Lu Fei's conflict no longer included Wang Hao. It seemed that Wang Hao's influence in this matter could now be ignored. That's not okay yet. I'm not ready. How about I give you a massage instead? What are you thinking? Chen Bo reached out and flicked Lu Fei's forehead. My request is very simple. Can you post my picture on your moments and officially announce that I am your boyfriend? Ah? Lu Fei stared at Chen Bo in astonishment, her face turning a purplish-red color. So Chen Bo's request was this. She had thought Chen Bo wanted to, but this request was equally difficult for her. Can I be like you just now and post a picture of us holding hands? We're progressing too fast and I'm not ready yet. If people knew my boyfriend is 18 years younger than me, I'm afraid they'd say I'm an old cow eating young grass. Fei, I hope our relationship can be recognized by all your relatives and friends, not kept a secret. All right then. It's your skill to have a boyfriend 18 years younger than you, and besides, we're open and honest, so why fear people's gossip? If anyone really gossips about you, I'll be the first to not let them off. I will always be the man standing behind you, supporting you. Lu Fei was incredibly moved by Chen Bo's last sentence. Wasn't this her long-cherished wish? To find an excellent man to be her backing, always standing behind her and supporting her. And she and Chen Bo were open and honest, so why bother with people's gossip? As for Wang Hao, Lu Fei believed he would understand her. Moreover, having a wealthy stepfather like Chen Bo was also a good thing for Wang Hao. Lu Fei nodded excitedly. Since we're making it official, how can I only post your picture? Let's post our joint photo instead. Hiss! That's a good idea. He originally wanted to give Wang Hao a little stimulation, but he didn't expect his biological mother to give him something even more stimulating. How could he refuse? As Lu Fei pulled out the Huawei trifold screen phone Chen Bo gave her, Wang Hao's call came in, and there were more than 10 missed calls, all from Wang Hao. Lu Fei had a habit of putting her phone on Do Not Disturb mode when she was at work. Seeing her son's call, Lu Fei quickly answered. How, Mommy is at work. Is there something urgent you need me for? Ding. Rage value from Wang Hao. +10. Current total rage value. 655 points. Chen Bo was baffled. He hadn't done anything yet, and Wang Hao's rage value already came? Mommy, are you still lying to me? I'm in your store right now, and you're lying to me for Chen Bo. Her lie exposed. Lu Fei was a bit embarrassed. So you already know. I am indeed with Xiao Bo right now. We're about to give you a big surprise.
Surprise?
More like a shock. What surprise? Keep an eye on your moments. You'll know in a bit. How, Mommy cares about you the most. I hope you can understand Mommy. Mommy, Alright, don't say anything more for now. Just keep an eye on your moments. After saying that, Lu Fei hung up the phone. The Huawei Mate Max trifold screen phone's camera was truly powerful. A joint photo of Chen Bo with his arm around Lu Fei's slender waist, and Lu Fei leaning on Chen Bo's shoulder, was generated in Jiang Qian's hand. Jiang Qian's photography skills were quite good. In this photo, the man was handsome, and the woman was beautiful, making it perfect. Facing the constantly affectionate display from Chen Bo and Lu Fei, Jiang Qian's toes were so embarrassed they almost dug out a 4-room, 1-living-room apartment. For a moment, she didn't know whether to avoid them or continue to provide service to Chen Bo and Lu Fei. Lu Fei edited a piece of text. From now on, the misty rain falls on Jincheng. 1 person holds an umbrella. 2. Walk together. Send. 3 seconds later. Ding. Rage critical hit from Wang Hao. 200 points. Current total rage value. 855 points. Rage critical hit occurred. Rewarding strength attribute +1. Host's current physical attributes. Strength 6. Speed 9. Stamina 6. Normal human peak is 10 points. Chapter 18. Awesome. So satisfying. A single attack dealt 200 points of pain critical hit. Even Chen Bo, the instigator, was trembling. 200 points of anger value. What a huge trauma that must have left in Wang Hao's heart. Perhaps it was similar to the pain he felt yesterday when he learned that Wang Hao and Lin Mengyao were colluding. To toy with him, Chen Bo finally understood now. Happiness built on the suffering of enemies was so physically and mentally exhilarating. At this moment, Wang Hao was simply the source of his happiness. The current total anger value had reached 855 points. He was still 145 points away from the 1 billion cash prize lottery. It seemed he had to add more fuel to the fire and make Wang Hao suffer even more. Looking at the surprise Lu Fei had given him, Lu Fei's WeChat moments showed loving, couple-like photos of Chen Bo and Lu Fei, and Lu Fei's official announcement of their relationship. Wang Hao's body trembled, his hands and feet were cold, his limbs were weak, and he was as stiff as a block of wood. Was this the surprise his mommy wanted to give him? Was this not soul-snatching? Wang Hao's mind played its own background music, snowflakes fluttering, the north wind whistling. At this moment, he just wanted to let out a long cry to the sky.
No.
Chen Bo, you bastard. At the same time, Lu Fei's colleagues in the store also noticed her official announcement in her WeChat moments. Everyone, look. Sister Lu Fei announced she's in a relationship. So sweet. Isn't this the little sugar daddy who topped up 3 million at our store yesterday? Gave Sister Lu Fei a new Birkin series bag worth 500,000 and publicly confessed to her. Wow, so romantic. No wonder Sister Lu Fei couldn't wait to make it official on her moments the next day. If it were me, and such a handsome and rich little sugar daddy pursued me, I'd drag him to get married immediately, not giving him any chance to escape. You don't know, to get Lu Fei time off, that little sugar daddy just secretly topped up 5 million in his account. Now he's an Hermes Diamond VIP. Holy crap. That's way too extravagant. How is Lu Fei so lucky? She even met such a super rich little sugar daddy, and he's so generous with her. I heard this little sugar daddy is also Sister Lu Fei's son's classmate. TSK, Lu Fei is quite something. She even went for that. No way, that's so scandalous. How will her son and her boyfriend get along then? This taboo. How exciting. Meanwhile, Lu Fei's post ignited her entire WeChat moments. The person Wang Hao had saved as Grandpa replied, Fei, you've finally come to your senses and found a stepfather for Hao Hao. This young man has a full forehead and an upright face. Not bad. Not bad. I believe he will definitely be a good husband and a good father. Grandma. That's great. Hao Hao finally has a father. When you two get married, quickly let Hao Hao change to the man's surname. Just thinking that Hao Hao still has the surname of that beast Wang Huaqiang makes me uncomfortable. Aunt. This young man doesn't seem much older than Hao Hao. They should be able to get along. Biological dad. Lu Fei. It's your freedom to have a boyfriend, but I will absolutely not let my son call this man his father. Ding. Anger value from Wang Hao. 10 points. Ding. anger value from Wang Hao, 10 points. Ding, anger value from Wang Hao, 10 points. Current total anger value, 935 points. The voices of the counter ladies and the replies in Lu Fei's WeChat moments were like arrows piercing Wang Hao's heart. Every word made Wang Hao's heart ache, as if it were being twisted by a knife, causing him immense pain. His heart was bleeding. Yesterday, Chun Bo was still the unlucky guy who had been played by him for 3 years. How could he make his heart ache so much after just one day? This pain was as sharp as a knife. This was Chun Bo's revenge. Yes, this must be Chun Bo's revenge. He must save his mommy from Chun Bo's clutches before she completely falls into his trap. Chun Bo watched in surprise as the total anger value data continuously climbed. He hadn't expected this matter to have such a powerful lingering effect on Wang Hao. He originally thought he would only get one anger critical hit, but he didn't expect Wang Hao to continuously give him unexpected surprises. Satisfying. It was so damn satisfying. The only drawback was that the anger value stopped rising at 935 points. If it could have directly broken through 1,000 in one go, that would have been even more perfect. However, it was only a step away from 1,000. With Lu Fei's current state, as long as he added a little more fuel, breaking through 1,000 would be a matter of minutes. Just as Chun Bo was thinking about what to do, Wang Hao's call came through to Lu Fei's phone. "Mommy, what's going on with that Moments post you made? You're just joking with everyone, right?" Wang Hao still held a glimmer of hope in his heart. This wasn't real. This was just his mommy playing a prank on him. Lu Fei paused for a moment, then said in a serious tone, How, you know mommy would never joke about something like this. You'll support me and bless me, right?" "Support what? That bastard Chun Bo is not a good person. Mommy, tell me honestly, does he have something on you? Is he threatening you?" How can you talk about Chun Bo like that? He has never threatened me. We are serious, we truly love each other. Can't you just bless us?" Ding, anger value from Wang Hao, 30 points. Current total anger value, 965 points. Lu Fei's words delivered another heavy blow to Wang Hao's aching heart. Lu Fei suddenly felt a surge of strength from Chun Bo's hand, and her eyes filled with determination. It seemed to be cheering Lu Fei on, and at the same time, telling Lu Fei that they would never betray each other in this life. In fact, Chun Bo just wanted to tell Lu Fei, "My dear, you said it so well. Say more, and he'll soon break through 1,000 points of anger value. I'll bless his grandpa. That bastard Chun Bo is just deceiving you. Playing you. I'll tell you honestly, Chun Bo and I are not brothers or friends, but enemies with a grudge. He's approaching you to get revenge on me. I don't believe it. Chun Bo isn't that kind of person. Revenge? The first time Chun Bo met her, he gave her a phone worth over 10,000 and Hermes luxury goods worth hundreds of thousands. And after knowing her financial pressure, he transferred 5 million to her without a second thought. And now, a Mercedes Maybach worth over 3 million was given away without any hesitation. She and Chun Bo had only known each other for 2 days, and Chun Bo had already spent over 10 million on her. Was this revenge for a small grudge between friends? Only a ghost would believe that. Lu Fei absolutely believed that there was true love between her and Chun Bo. Otherwise, even the son of the richest man, young Master Wang, wouldn't necessarily be so generous. Lu Fei's face immediately darkened. Ding, anger value from Wang Hao, 20 points. Current total anger value, 985 points. Wow. Chun Bo looked excited. Only 15 points left to break through 1,000 points of anger value. Come on, don't let it stop. Mommy, you're 40. Do you still believe in ridiculous things like a domineering CEO falling in love with a divorced woman with a child? Wake up. Being blinded by love will only harm you. Wang Hao was extremely angry that Lu Fei believed Chun Bo and not her son, and began to speak carelessly. Lu Fei's face instantly darkened. How, I'm only 39 this year, not yet 40. Do I not have the right to pursue my own happiness?
Doi.
Have to give up everything for you my whole life? You say I'm blinded by love? If I were blinded by love, I would have found 10 stepfathers already, you ungrateful brat. Mommy, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, listen to me. Cut ties with Chun Bo immediately.
Impossible.
Mommy doesn't want to discuss this with you anymore. I'll explain it to you when I get home. After saying that, Lu Fei decisively hung up the phone. On the other side, Wang Hao looked bewildered, astonished. This was the first time his mommy had spoken to him in such a tone since he was born. And it was also the first time she had hung up on him without letting him finish his sentence. Ding, anger value from Wang Hao. Plus 50. Current total anger value. 1,035 points. Congratulations to the host. The current total anger value exceeds 1,000 points. You have obtained a chance to draw for the 1 billion cash prize. Host, do you confirm that you want to draw immediately?